Now, again, I'm Vanessa Miller, and today I am signing my book plates that will be sent out to the bookstores that have received pre-orders of for The American Queen. If you pre-order your book from Riches and Reading or Turning Page Bookshop, you'll get one of these. But also some of the stores that I'm going to be doing my signings at will get this these book plates as well. If you pre-order from Park Rose Books, I will be in that store directly and I will be signing right on the book before it comes to you. So I want to let you hear one of the songs that is on the American Queen soundtrack. Yes, I had a soundtrack done for you guys, for all of the people who pre-order the book. It is my gift to you. And so I want you to hear, this is Sometimes I Feel Like a Motherless Child. So gonna listen to that while I continue to sign the book plates. Okay, why isn't it going? It doesn't want to work.
Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child, a long way from home. Sometimes I feel like I'm almost done. Sometimes I feel like I'm almost done. Ooh, sometimes I feel like I'm almost done, and a long, long way from home. Ooh, true believer, true believer, true believer, a long, long way from home.
Okay, so you get the point, right? Her voice is so beautiful. I love it. I love it. I love it. It's Pastor Young. She attends my church and she has such a beautiful voice that I asked her if she would sing these songs for the American Queen soundtrack. And I'll tell you, so the songs are done very soulfully because they are these are songs from the 1800s. And because this is when Queen Luella lived. And Queen Luella, as I said, was a singer. She had a group called the Happy Land Singers, and they would travel around singing and bringing joy to all who heard them. And I hope that you guys find joy in the songs. Just remember, you're not getting ready to get any modern day songs. It's 4 songs and they're not modern day at all, because we wanted to be authentic to the time period of which American Queen comes out. The story is written from between 1865 to 1889. And so that's how that goes. So that's one of the songs. So you can still pre-order. If you have not gotten your pre-order in, what are you waiting on? We're just 10 days from the release of the book. Pre-orders are so very important. It really means a lot. So if you want this book to succeed, and I hope you do, this is the best thing I have ever written. And it's about an actual queen who really did live and really did rule on American soil. And she was a Black woman. Get this book. You can go to my website, VanessaMiller.com, and you can still pre-order from Park Road Books. And I will be over there the day before release on January 29th, signing all of the copies that we have, that people have ordered from Park Road Books. And so get that done. You can pre-order from Turning Page Bookshop. And I'm not sure if Riches and Reading is still taking pre-orders, but you can click on the link and see. And those three are on my website: Park Road Books, Riches and Reading, and Turning Page Bookshop. Get those pre-orders in. Oh, and Turning Page Bookshop is selling the book at a discount of just $16. I like to let you guys know when there are discounts available. And right now, Amazon has a discount on the paperback version of The American Queen. I mean, my publisher is really working. We are trying to make this book do what it can do. And so right now, if you go over to Amazon, Amazon had already discounted The American Queen to about $16. And now they're giving you another $3 off, just the 19th through the 21st. So you only have this deal for 3 days. So go over there and get your copy ordered, because you can get it for just $13. This book is $18.99. So basically $19. So when you can get a discount, go grab your discount. $13 on Amazon.com. And ChristianBook.com is still selling the book. I believe today it is still at $12.49, but you're gonna have to pay tax on that for the shipping. And I think, you know, if you're with Amazon and if you have Prime, you're not gonna be paying for shipping. So these 3 days, grab it from Amazon. So, and if you guys have any questions for me, please post your questions below. Today I'm kind of taking a woosah, but it's not really, because I've still got all of these to fill out and get mailed out. So I'm trying to mail these out tomorrow so they get to the booksellers, so that they can put them in the books and mail the books out to you guys and get those to you guys on time. So I got more book marks came in. So I'm going to be sending those out to the booksellers as well, so that they have bookmarks to put in your book. And so you'll get a bookmark for The American Queen. I appreciate bookmarks. I really do. So if you're one who likes bookmarks, you'll be able to get this. And this is how it looks. And then on the back, it has my Facebook, Instagram, and X, formerly known as Twitter, accounts. And so join me on one of those if you're not already. If you're not already following me on Instagram, please join me. It's just that author Vanessa Miller. Go over there and join me. I'm going to be doing a video over there in a little bit, but I wanted to come over here now. So that's what I have. And I'm going to be working all day on signing these book plates and getting them out. They're so cute. I think my publisher comes up with some really beautiful book covers, and the book plates that they come up with are just gorgeous. So I don't mind signing these because I appreciate each and every one of you. If you're going to take the time to pre-order my book, I'm going to take the time to sign these and get them to these bookstores. And you're going to take the time to try to get in the bookstore the week the book releases. And even if I'm not there yet, but you're going to grab the book because I'm asking you to please go grab the book, I'm going to sign this for you. And so that's what I am doing today. Signing these and getting them out. That's what we are doing. And so what else? My tour is coming up. I am going to be on tour and I want to see you guys. Charlotte, please, if you live in Charlotte, come out to my event on January 30th at Barnes & Noble. I will be at the Pineville Mall, and that begins at 6:30 on January 30th, the day the book releases. Now, if you live on the north side of town on February 3rd, that Saturday, I will be doing an event with Urban Reader Bookstore, and we will be at the Fairfield Inn. I'm using one of their ballrooms, and that address is on my website, VanessaMiller.com. Go over there, grab that address, and come hang out with us. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to be giving away a couple of crowns at my early events. So now, before the book releases on January 30th, I will be in Winston-Salem on January 27th and 28th doing an event with bookmarks. I am so excited about that. I have never had the pleasure of doing an event with bookmarks before. So this will be my first event with them. And your girl is kind of excited about it. It's called The Movable Feast, where they're going to have book clubs and readers come in, and we get to talk to them about our book. We get, a couple minutes to read something. Oh, and now that I mentioned read, let y'all listen to a few minutes of the first chapter of American Queen. Hold on, it's not, let me go grab it, and then I will, hold on one second. Let me go grab it. And listen to her voice. I love it.
With hands planted in the dust of the earth, Luella Bobo's lungs filled with the smothering air of bondage, while she listened to her daddy wax eloquent about freedom. Now listen to me and listen good. Samuel Bobo stood a few feet away from the cotton field, addressing the enslaved men and women on the Montgomery plantation in Mississippi. Y'all heard what them Yankee soldiers said as well as I did. Samuel shook a fist. Freedom is coming, but we got to be ready. Luella's eyes lit up. She'd been on this plantation for all her 24 years, and the happiest day of her life was when those soldiers trotted onto Massa Montgomery's property, like they wasn't a bit worried about being shot dead for trespassing. But the news they brung was the same thing Reverend William been telling them for months. Enslaved people just too full of fright to fathom the notion that freedom was in reach, as close as their feet were to the ground. Luella wasn't shaking from fear, but wonderment. Would the air of freedom be different? Or would it be as still and unrelenting as slavery air? I hear tell that Lincoln emancipated us back in 1863, but we still sitting here like we belong to these devils who stole us from our homeland. I say it's time to rise up and fight our way out of here. That sounds good, Samuel. Ruby, the housekeeper at the big house, wiped her hands on her apron. But I'm not trying to be no runaway slave. Don't y'all see? Samuel waved his arms around, then pointed toward his head. You only enslaved in here. Once we free our minds, we can plan our way to freedom. Later, after her father's speech, Luella found him. Freedom has to come soon, Daddy. I'm nearly bursting with anticipation. He patted her on the back as they walked home. It's coming. We have to wait a little while longer. Rubbing his belly, Samuel said, My stomach's grumbling. I hope your grandma cooked something good. After the long workday ended, they were allowed to fill their bellies, then get some rest before heading back to that dreaded field and picking cotton with raw and bleeding fingers. The nighttime brought peace. It was usually so quiet in the slave quarters. She could hear mice peeing on the cotton. Luella wasn't thinking about peace or quiet tonight. She went to bed with revolution on her mind, ready to fight for a new way of life, ready to lose the chains that bound her to a place she wanted nothing to do with. But she woke to the creak of the rickety old porch and the sad reality that she was still on the Montgomery plantation, still enslaved. Most mornings, Luella woke with a sore back from picking cotton 10 hours a day and then sleeping on a makeshift bed of straw and old rags. The sun wasn't ready to brighten the new day yet, but no matter how early in the morning it was, Mama Sue had to do the washing. Luella's grandmother moved quiet like a house cat as she got out of bed. Luella normally didn't wake until she heard Mama Sue on the porch. Massa Montgomery's clothes had to be washed every other morning, rain or shine. Only he wasn't their master no more. That's what them Yankee soldiers said last night. Bang, bang, bang. Gal, if you don't get out of bed and make your way to the field, that cotton ain't gonna pick itself. Luella's makeshift bed was against the wall, next to the porch. Her grandma's bangs against the wall not only shook the small cabin, but sent waves of pain up her spine. She got out of bed, stretched, rolled her neck, then opened the door and stepped onto the porch. Mama Sue sat on the stump between the rotted-out boards with the washboard in front of her and a soapy water tub beneath the washboard. The tub with clear water for rinsing was right next to the soapy one. Mama Sue hummed the words to Amazing Grace as she worked. Luella had been blessed with a beautiful singing voice. Mama Sue said she got it from her. But Luella never sang or hummed while she worked. Just seemed like Mama Sue was trying to find something enjoyable about scrubbing Massa Montgomery's breeches. Her grandmother had a rag tied around her head, with the same 4 braids she always wore. The hump in her back was pronounced as she slumped closer to the washboard. Mama Sue carried her grief in the slump of her back. With each endured loss, the slump became more pronounced, and the hump grew. Luella kept her...
All right. So, do y'all hear Angel Pen? That's P-E-A-N. She is amazing, and I am loving listening to her narrate The American Queen. I think you guys are gonna love her too. So if you like the audio book, get over there and order your audio book so that you'll have it the day it releases, because oh my goodness, you ain't gonna be able to put it down. You are gonna have to keep listening until you get to the end of this amazing story. And what an amazing story it is. Born enslaved, but she was destined to become a queen. So this is not some slavery story that you're going to be listening to with the American Queen. It does start when they're enslaved, but as you can tell from the beginning, it's at the very end. emancipation has already come, but they aren't told about it yet. And so this is the very beginning. The first couple of chapters is them still on the plantation. So what happens after they once they are emancipated, they then figure out what they want to do, and they decide to leave this plantation, looking for their promised land. They believe that God has a land for them. And so then the book takes you on their journey to their promised land. And their promised land becomes the kingdom of the happy land. And I'd like to say, what audacity William had to decide to make this his kingdom and to make Luella his queen. And as you read the book, you'll see how that happened. She never imagined that she would become a queen, but she became the sole ruler of the kingdom of the happy land. And as you read, you'll see how all of that transpires. But she ruled with elegance and grace. She ruled with the thought of dignity for her people, because they lived a life that was deprived of dignity. And that's what she wanted most for her people. I loved getting to know the people of the happy land and getting to know Queen Luella. And I hope you will love her story. And as I say, long may she rule in your heart. Long may she live in your heart, because this woman deserves to be known about. This is a hidden gem in history. You know, not many people know that this is a true fact, that this happened. They own land in the Appalachian Mountains of North Carolina that spanned from one part of North Carolina to South Carolina. They built a church, a school. They built homes for their people. They had a whole sense of community, sense of togetherness, sense of family. It was like a family to them. This story, in parts, yes, it will break your heart. But The American Queen was written to mend your heart too. You'll see what I'm talking about as you read this wonderful story. So we just got 10 days left. Get those pre-orders in. You know, why do authors keep telling you about pre-orders? It's because it's important. If you want this book to be successful, and you guys have been pre-ordering, and I thank you. You guys have been showing out with American Queen. I thank you for that. American Queen has been making list after list. I've just been so amazed at everything that has been going on, because let me tell you, these lists, they weren't hardly trying to put my other books on these lists. And I think I'm a decent writer. I wouldn't be doing it if I didn't think I was a good writer, because I don't just want to give people junk. And but it is what I have learned, and this is a tidbit for authors. What I have learned is that it's not how great you are as an author. It's not how good you can write that story. It's the story. You have to find a story that a lot of times is something people have never heard of. Like A Queen in America. No one has ever heard of that. And it's not like it's fiction, even though I'm writing this as a novel, because I wasn't able to interview these people myself. So this has to be historical fiction, but it's based on a true story, because this really did happen in America. And people are, every time I'm seeing a review, they're going, I didn't know this. And when you can give somebody something they didn't know, it piques their interest, and it gets them excited to know about it. And so I found this thing that not many people knew about, and I didn't find it like that. Lisa Wingate told me about it, and I am forever grateful to her for doing that. And so then I went and researched it because I hadn't heard of it either. A Facebook friend told her about it. And so I said, well, what's going on with this? And as I researched and researched, I was like, this is a story. This is something important. This story is important. And I will tell you, I've seen where reviewers have said that they can tell that this story meant something to me on every page, and that's they're right. I fell in love with the whole idea of Queen Luella ruling in America. When we are oftentimes dealt so many injustices, and she was too, but she rose above them. And that is what you're going to read about, is a woman who is determined to succeed, and not just succeed for herself, but for her people. I will be out in just a few days. And what I'm hoping for is that you guys will come out and see me. I want the room full, because that then shows people how much people care about this story. If you want people reading this story and people knowing about it, you got to show up for me. If you're not able to come to a live event, RSVP for one of the 3 virtual events that I have. The information is on my website, and it's VanessaMiller.com, VANESSA Miller.com. It's right there. Vanessa, if you get out the light, VanessaMiller.com. Go over to the website and check out the events. Come see me. Come hang out with me. I promise you'll have a good time. I thank you for hanging out with me this afternoon. Like I said, if you have any questions, post them in the comment section, and I will be answering your questions. Now, I'm going to just finish signing these book plates. Bye-bye.